Hello and welcome to this, in a first actually in a series of Farming Simulator 2013. We're actually going to start a new game afresh. I don't know if you've been watching any of the other videos that we're doing, but they've actually been tutorials. So today we're going to jump in at the deep end. We're going to get our hands mucky. We're going to be stepping in that cow shit, doing whatever we've got to do to get this farm as large as we can get, whether we go down the livestock or whether we want more machinery, things like that. We'll probably decide as we get going, because I'm not really sure which way we're going to go at the minute. Isn't that beautiful? Graphics are a little bit like a little cartoony, really. When you first start off in the farm, there are these little icons all over. Now I know what most of this stuff is, so I may just go through and explain it as we get there. I thought there was a skiddy on my pants then. You don't want to be looking at my mucky undies when we're in here, do you? No, let's move on and get on with the farming. That's what we're here for, not simulator underwashing. Right then. So that's the main sort of farm area, and we'll go through that once we've got this main field sorted. I'll just give you a little idea what this telephone is. The telephone is, it gives you the opportunity to go through some of the help options, should there be anything that you're not quite sure about. But again, we'll go through all this one step at a time. This is our little PDA, or a little iPhone rip-off, and you can see this is basically our virtual map, and these are all the maps in the field that we can source. At the minute we just start off with one field, which is field 16. We can also go through and look at the different the value of the stock at the current time on the market, whether things are going up, down, you know, the value of corn or canola, things like that. And again, we'll go through that later on. So this is the combine harvester. We've got a few vehicles that we actually start off with initially straight away. So let's get in this big red mother. As you can see, this is the cutter at the front. There are over 150 items in the game, all authentically created. This is our first field, which is already grown for us. I think this is this wheat? Could be wheat or corn. I think it's wheat. It's wheat. I'm actually using the 360 pad, which works absolutely perfect on the PC version. We are running in 1080p, but unfortunately Fraps doesn't like it at 1080p, so we've got to drop it down to 720, even though we've got a really good gaming machine. Actual in-game is normal, 60 frames a second all day long, no bother whatsoever. So we're just going to move up a little bit. Using the buttons at the top left, we're actually going to harvest this corn. And at the bottom left you can see that that's our speed. The second one down is how full the combine harvester is, and then when that gets full we'll have to actually empty it. Fuel, and how much money we've got. So to make this easy for us, I've just hired John Thomas here. And we do that, obviously it comes out of our wages, and he'll happily, now we're actually on the field, he'll continue on getting all this corn or wheat or whatever it is we've got in the field until it's done, and at the end of the day, when that's finished, he'll disappear. So let's just jump into the main area and have a quick look around. I'll tell you some of the stuff that we start off with, should you decide to get this game. You should, it's great fun. This thing is where we get our liquid cow shit. Yeah. Cow curry cack in there. We'll literally drive your vehicle up and refill it. It's good for the spreaders, things like that, the fertilizer. Over in front of us we've got the seed area, where you can pick the different types of seed that you want to put onto the fields. Then we have root crops and potatoes. And over there is the silos, where we store all the different things that we're going to harvest from the fields. Chicken farm over there. So this area here as well, we can drop straw off and sell it and things like that. Now there are over 150 different types of authentic farming equipment, and they're extremely well modelled, as you can see here. This is our plough. This is our cultivator, the Lemkin Kirksel 9 cultivator. Lovely. Nice colour. We get this beautiful little tractor, which we'll be keeping this one. It's a great workhorse, does lots of things. The hooks on the front are to put extra weights on in case you're carrying something on the back. Now this is an old workhorse, we'll probably be selling this. That's parts in front of our seeder. We put our seeds in there when we're seeding the land. The Amazone. 7 o'clock in the morning, we are up bright and early. This is our trailer, which is quite a small trailer, doesn't hold a huge amount of produce, so we'll probably be upgrading that again at some point. And I'm not sure what the name of this tractor is, but this is another great tractor that we're going to be using. So, as John Thomas, as we're going to call him John Thomas, we're just going to reverse and pick up the trailer, And we're going to move this over to field 16, which is the first field that we start off with. Actually, the thing on the right there, the red thing, that's your fuel. We've got tons of fuel in here, 119 litres, so it's not something we need to really worry about at this stage. We can drive first person, third person again, just with a click of the right thumbstick. Nice and easy. So that harvester can hold quite a lot before it needs to empty, but we'll drive up anyway. There we go, he's working his way around. Now we can actually drive up and down with him at the same time, and he'll actually feed the contents of the harvester into the trailer. It's a little bit difficult at the end, obviously, when you both have to turn around, but if you can match the speed, it just means you can get the field done a lot quicker. So if I just drive up here now, there we go. And we can continue, keep doing this up and down. And obviously the items at the bottom right now we're going to change to say how much the percentage is now, not the combine, it's how much I've got in the actual trailer. There we go. As you see, it makes it a little bit tricky when we're moving around. Now once we've actually done with this field, there's no way for us at the minute, from the the bits that are left over on the floor, which is like the actual stalky bits, there's no way for us to actually pick that up. So due to finances, we're going to have to wait a little bit before we can actually make use of that. So we will actually have to plough the field to get rid of it all, and we will have to cultivate it, seed it, and fertilise it. So I think what we might do is, you can actually jump to the vehicles you've got when you initially start in the game by using your right D-pad. Here we are at the farm shop, and this is the place where we can actually bring our produce, buy fertiliser, seeds, things of that nature. Depending on different areas of the map, such as the mill, can't think of the ones off the top of my head now. They're on the little icon at the map at the bottom. You can see them, it's like a little trailer. Those are the different places that will sell things at different prices. Should we decide we want to get chickens, we can bring them here, but it's a pain in the bum, to be honest with you, having to drive all the way just for a few eggs. Didn't actually get far enough into the game to see whether we could actually start breeding the chickens, etc, etc. Now I've brought up the red button here, and I'm actually going to sell, see we've got 3 of these tractors, and this is the kit that we own. I'm going to sell one, which makes our balance up at the top, £13,500. Lots of equipment in here. Some of it's quite self-explanatory, some of it's not, windrowers and all this sort of stuff. You're not actually quite sure what it does, so I'm sure once we get further into it we'll discover that together. Now one of the things we do want to look for in this list is a fertilizer. So it looks like $9,800. So we could afford this one. Basically, if we get a fertilizer, once we've put our seeds down, it means that we get a greater yield. The crop's worth more, and it's more dense. So it looks like the one at the top is just the extra tank, so that's no good for us, and that's 28. Excuse me, I've got cold still, and a deep 60 volts. I've got a bit of a winter bug going around. I think we'll buy that one. Yeah, we'll buy that one. So we'll put the front weight on. Just see how much he's doing. He's nearly full, 88%. What should we do? What should we do? I'm wondering whether we've got time to go pick up the new piece of item that we've bought, or do we wait? No, let's head off a little bit. Any piece of kit that you actually buy in game, you have to go pick it up from the actual, I was going to say the farmer's shop, but it's not a farmer's shop, is it? I don't know what you call a shop where you buy tractors, the plant shop, or the plant hire, I don't know what you call it. Somebody put in the box below what it is, because I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I'm a first person shooter who's decided to grow some corn and grow some bread. Grow some bread, see, that just shows you what a total farm noob I am. Come on, love, that's it way. Right, so this is where we come to buy all our farming equipment, which we've paid for it. And there is our lovely shit spreader. It doesn't actually come with the shit, you've got to dump in it yourself. Right. Very nice, just making sure there's no scratches on it. Doesn't look brand new to me, looks a little bit dirty. Amazone! Muck spreader. That's exactly what we want. That glass building in front of us is quite strange. It's literally cardboard cutouts of equipment. I don't know why they haven't actually put them in there. Literally, you know, held up at the back by little cardboard struts. No, we don't want this. There are actually different missions that pop up throughout the game. A lot of them we can't do yet because we haven't got a forklift. If you want to pause that and read it. We can buy animals, extra farming equipment, things like that, and they always come here. And you can actually just drive a tractor if you're here already, straight onto there, and it'll sell it straight away. This thing here is where we can actually check our finances, and we can also borrow money. So as you can see, new vehicles 9,800, which is what we've just bought. That's our balance. We've got a loan of 100,000. So we haven't actually paid anything off, but well, let's get the farm running up a little bit before we start spending too much money. Alright, so John Thomas down here is harvester's full. So we just need to carefully come up the side here, let the harvester empty, and then we'll probably take this over to the silos. While we're waiting, let's get our muck spreader, and we'll head back to the farm. We haven't actually got enough money to buy the farm that's next to us, sorry, the land that's next to us, so what I might do is, rather than leaving all the equipment in the actual farmyard, I will I think we'll drive all the equipment actually up to field 16, so it's all there ready. Trailer, tractor, seeder, fertilizer as well. Let's get everything ready. Makes the video a little bit shorter for you guys and a little bit more interesting. Means less driving around for me. Do you know, this really is a completely different experience for me. Used to playing first-person shooters, so something really, it's more enjoyable than it should be, to be honest with you. You think about it, it's not a really exciting game, but if you just want to, you know, chill, relax, and enjoy yourself down on the farm with some cider, make some butter. Right, so I'm going to drive this up to this little fertilizer here, and we're going to fill it up with the RB button. As you can see, it's filling up nicely now with cow milk. Later on in probably the next week or so, we shall be getting some cattle. From the cattle, obviously, we can get a silo full of cow shit, meaning we don't have to buy it. But then again, we've got to feed the cattle, and you know, there's a lot more involved in it. Obviously, by then we will need something to pick up those strips up there. I think they're called windrows. So at some point, we're going to have to get something that's going to pick that up, a baler. Right, so that's our fertilizer ready and sorted. So we could probably go sort out this. Should we do the seeder next? No, I think we'll get the plough, which is the blue one. Now, the difference between the plough and the cultivator. Sorry, this is a cultivator. The one on the right. Eventually, when we buy the next field, we've got the option to turf up the land in between the two fields and make it into one field. So we'll need the plough to actually do that, because it's arid ground. This is a cultivator, which means we can just go over what's already been harvested, and it will mash the bits of straw or hay, whatever it's called, that's left over into the ground. And then we're ready for seeding it again and planting the next yield. So this is something we're going to need as well. We obviously haven't got enough money for the to be able to buy the next field yet. I think the next field's about 70,000. So I don't want to borrow too much money because interest rates keeps going up. You never pay it back. I may sell a couple more of these old tractors though. Let's get the weight on this. In fact, do we need the weight on this? I'm not sure whether we need a weight on the seeder. No, probably not, because we can't pick it up. So there we go. So I've learned something there, and we've all learned something there. You don't need a weight if you're doing the seeder. I mean, well, look at the size of it really, I guess. It's a bit of a silly thing. We're not picking it up, are we? It runs on the ground. Let's just back up and pick this bad boy up. So once we've picked this up, we're going to have to fill it up with seeds, and then we're going to have to work out what we actually want to put in it. Whether it's canola, wheat, barley, or corn. And we'll probably have to check the PDA and see what prices are like at the minute. So this is the seed area. As we can see at the minute, it looks like canola is it's drop in price with the arrow, but it's still a lot higher than, it's nearly double in some places higher than wheat. So we'll probably risk it and go for canola. Right then, so we can select the seed with LB and B and fill it up. Just in case any of you have just literally jumped straight in, we are actually playing on the PC here at 1080p. Perhaps doesn't like me or the game running at 1080p, and it drops us down to about 10 frames a second, which is just unplayable, guys. So I'm sorry I can't give you it in 1080p. You'd think the GTX 580 SLI i5 running at 4.3 gig would be enough for fraps, but no, fraps kicks it in the bollocks. Right, so now we're getting pretty much set up. We've got our cultivator ready. Let's plod along here, make it all nice and neat. We've got our spreader. Okay, combine's full again, so let's just whip this round. Oh, John Thomas here. And then he can continue with his job. Hiring staff does actually cost quite a bit of money. I'll have to double check how much money it actually does cost. And once they finish their job, you've literally hired them per job, it's not per day. So once this guy's finished his field, he's gone. He's gone for his cider, his crumpets and crab apples. You know, jams and butters, bumming sheep or whatever farmers do after the end of a day. Sticking his John Thomas in the milking machine. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so he's going to finish that little bit off. How much have we got in the back of the trailer now? 76%. What should we do? Well, let's take this to the silo while we're waiting, I think. Yeah, we can drop this off so that the trailer's empty. So let's just head on down to the silos. We can show you how to do it. This is really easy. Some of the tractors and equipment that you get later on are absolutely massive. They've got like these triangle tank tracks on them. They're like £500,000. I presume the only benefit to those is they get the job done in half the time. One piece of equipment maybe does 3 or 4 jobs. I suppose we'll, as we get further in, we'll find out. So these are the silos. And all we need to do to put them in the silos, we come down to this little dropping off area down here. Make sure that the trailer's over it. There we go. And then we're just going to unload. And there we go. Just like that. Beautiful. I'm sure that many of you out there have already got the game and are a little bit further in. I have played a little bit more than this. That's where we get our root crops, potatoes, after we've dropped them off. As I say, I'm sure a lot of you have played a lot more than this, and there'll be many things that I'm going to make mistakes on, or getting a piece of equipment, not quite sure what it does, so I'm hoping some of you will be able to help me out. I did actually buy, on the other game, I bought, instead of the fertiliser spreader, I actually bought the tank. I didn't read it properly, just a spare tank, so I brought the tank all the way down and couldn't do anything with it. Noob! Yeah. Noobish indeed. Right, so it looks like John Thomas is nearly finished. it's only 8:15 in the morning. We started early today. Right, so he's done now. So let's just whip this around here. We'll fill up the trailer, then we'll move the harvester. And then we'll get on, whoops. And then we'll get on with cultivating. The model's beautiful. Really, really nice. Extremely detailed, even though they've got that cartoony feel to them. Right. No, we're not doing these. Let's just fill that out. If you go on the pause screen, we can flick through here, and this gives us an overview of all the fields. Obviously, field 16 is green, which up at the top right means it's ready to harvest. The actual ready to harvest remove tops, I'm not too sure what that means, whether it's just the tops are ready and the bottom is just, you know, trish trash. I'm not sure, and obviously we've left it too long and we've lost the crops. Quick overview where the vehicles are. We can change the time scale up at the top. This helps when you're planting something, because it can literally be 7, 8, 9 hours we're waiting. We can speed that up a little bit, so we're not waiting around forever. Right, and as we're probably going to be working on the same field again, instead of putting this in the shed, I think we'll leave it. Yeah, we'll leave everything up here nice and neat for field 16. Alright then. Wrong button. Right. So I'm not going to take this to the silos just now. We'll just get this out of the way. We'll get the other process started. Otherwise we're going to be here all day. Right then, so whoops. Helps if you attach it. There we go. So I know we've got $2,500, but actually hiring a worker, they do such a better job than I can do. It takes about 8 times as long. As you can see, this is the woodrow, the strawy bits that are left, and if we had a baler, we could actually bale this up and either sell it or store it in the barn, so when we have cattle we can feed it to them. But unfortunately we can't afford that equipment just now, so we're just going to have to mash it into the ground. Right, so there goes John Thomas. I've got him back in again. He went for his lunch. He wanted to go home, but I said, no, fuck that fella. That field needs doing, yeah. You know, as farmers are hard up like folk. Fucking minted! Fuckers, we've got 2.5 grand in bank! Fucking laughing. Yeah, I want that field cultivated, boy. Right. So this is our beautiful cedar. Lovely. Nice green. Let's get in this old thing. Mind you, it does the job, doesn't it, I suppose? The Kramer KL200. Now, in order to speed this up a little bit, I might wait for John Thomas to gone up and down 3 or 4 times, and then I'll hire Willy Wonka. I think we'll get Willy Wonka to seed it, and we'll do the fertilising. So we're obviously going to be in his way a little bit, so I might let him just go up a couple more times, so we're not in his way. Just need to move it over a little bit. Just shift this over. Shift that over a little bit. Reverse it back. You can actually do this yourself. It just takes a lot longer, and for the sake of boredom factor for the people who are watching this, yeah, nice little thing. All right then. Yeah, John Thomas is doing all right. Just keep an eye on him. Make sure he's not on his mobile, having a cig break. Yeah, he seems to be doing alright. Right then. Let's get this mother emptied, and then we can come back. We've already set up the cow muck in the spreader. And I think what we'll do in the next video, or day 2, is we'll start filling the trailer up with stock produce from the silos, and we'll probably go into town, or yeah, we'll have to check the stock, see which ones got the most value at the time, and then we'll go and sell it, make some more brass. I think we'll keep half of the profit, and the rest of it we'll put back into if we need any farming equipment. Probably sell those other 2 old tractors as well, because I don't think we're going to be needing those. Just whip round here, make sure you don't drive under there, it'll start filling it up. I'm not sure about chickens, to be honest with you. I have had them before. It's, well, they don't need a lot of looking after, but it's just a pain having to go into town all the time to sell the eggs. There's no like automatic way, nobody comes and picks them up. The game actually has a lot of mods, but most of the mods that I've actually seen are just extra pieces of farming equipment. There's a nice little quad bike that you could use, you know, makes it quicker to go into town with. God, this is difficult. Ah! Well, I'm going to be lazy and sling it around that way. Yeah, lots of mods, community mods that you can get for extra pieces of equipment, John Deere stuff, which is a type of tractor manufacturer, I think. I mean, the model's really nicely detailed and it has got that cartoon feel to it. I just wish the environments, especially when you go into town later, it's like, it's really rough. You know, the buildings are like, it's almost like being an afterthought. Not much wildlife running around, or you know. Right, so let's get. There we go. So we've got John Thomas cultivating. We've got Willy Wonka. He's seeding again now. So as they're getting on with that, we can sort out the muck spreader. As I said before, the muck spreader, its purpose is to fertilise the ground. It gives us a higher yield of crop, and the crop's actually, you know, better quality, so we get more money for it. So even though there's an expense on the outset, I think we spent, what was it, £9,500 on this muck spreader, plus filling it up. I think was it £1,000? I'm not quite sure. The return, it'll be probably half of that within 1 yield, so it's worth it. So as we wait for Willy Wonka and John Thomas to carry on a little bit, we'll just get this over here and ready. There used to be a game that I played, I think it was on the GameCube, called Harvest Moon. It was a little bit like this, a little bit of a farming sim, but it had extra things like fishing, I remember, and what else was in there? You know, I've put myself on the spot there. You said you used to like it and you can't remember fuck all about it. Pardon my language. Anyway, this is like the grown-up version of that. I just wish there was, you know, other things to entertain us as well. Although it is based on a simulation, so, you know, what do you expect? I guess we've lost quite a bit of money now by not taking that. Look at the missed a bit. It's coming out your wages, that boy. Yeah, just keep an eye on him, make sure he's doing it right. Hey, watch it, health and safety. And he took a fucking eye out then. Right. Look at that. Yeah, alright, I'll let you off. You obviously know what you're doing. Look at that, perfect. So that's our cultivator, which is basically mashing that straw, the bits that are left over. I'm sure there's a proper name for it. What's the difference between straw and hay? Can somebody tell me it by putting it in the box below? People who've got ADSD, is it, or what's that thing where you're obsessed with things being neat and in a line? Is it ADS? Compulsive something? Compulsive nerd disorder? It's something like that, anyway. You'll love this game. Look at this, neat straight lines, making it all neat and tidy. So these are the finances down at the bottom in the little PDA, the Apple rip-off. So we've only got £2,000, and that's dropping because obviously we've got wage payments and daily use of the vehicles. Although we have got quite a lot in the silos at the minute. So I think on day 2, we're going to be doing a few trips to the into town, whether we go to the mill, the hotel, the other little bits. So I'm just going to pause that there while we come to this end of this, while these two get on with it, John Thomas and Dick and Dom. So he's done. He's done. He hasn't shifted it off the field, which is nice of him, the bastard. I'll be having a word with him about that. And you've left a mess there. Hell. This is a neat and tidy farm. So as I said, we're going to be concentrating mainly on this farm. So there is weather in the game as well, and a day and night cycle. Feels like we've been working for hours and it's still only 9:30. That's because, you know, farmers like to get up early. Look at that, it's nice, isn't it? Really nicely modelled. There is a button to turn the lights on, but I can't remember where it is. Probably have to do that on the keyboard. Right, so let's get over to our muck spreader. Right, so unfortunately I'm going to do this while Willy Wonka's still seeding, which means he's going to get a face full of cow shite. But you know, well, he's a freelancer. I don't know who he is. He's not a friend of mine. He's he's paid hired help. So you better put a gas mask on because you're getting a face full of cow flap straight in your mush. What is it about this game? There's something about this that's really relaxing. Just seeing that neat straight line. It's nice. Alright then. So the good thing about this spreader is it's got a really, it's quite a wide spread on it. You can cover a field quite quickly. Some of the other ones, the one that was like, I think it was 28,000. There are a load of bars that come out each side of it. It was like, you know, wider than this, but obviously the price is more, and with only having one small field at this point, you don't really need to get a bigger one. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Cow plat splat. Got any questions about the game? Anything that you want to know? I actually got the game on Steam. I think it was at the time. Was it the big sale that they have on occasionally? I think it was £14. It's probably like the best £14 I've ever spent, to be honest with you. As much as I enjoyed Far Cry recently, I thought the single player was just over way too soon. The main story. I was going to say a spoiler then, but I won't spoil it for you. I just think it was over too quickly. Two of the main characters, I just thought. Anyway, so I've actually come back to farming. Sim, I seem to be enjoying this more. I don't know what that says. Is it an age thing? I've started drinking ale in the pub now. Prefer ale to lager. Too fizzy. You know you're cracking on a little bit when you start playing farming sims. Or is it that I'm just all first-person shooted out? I actually love the Far Cry multiplayer shooter, and I also like Warfighter as well. Not a COD fan at all. Sorry people. Tried the new one, it's ridiculous. People just spawn in front of you. If you're alive for more than 10 seconds, you're doing well. I expect a flame wars right now. Anyway guys, this has been day 1 of our farm, so we need a name for the farm as well. Give us a suggestion in the box if you can think of anything. Thoroughly enjoying it. I think in the next video, as we've said before, we're going to start selling the produce and making some money. We may invest in some more equipment if we need it, or possibly get a loan and we'll buy field 2. Grow some other crops in there as well. So let's just keep this on. Everything nice, neat and tidy on this farm. Oh god, I can't get rid of this cold, honestly. You may have noticed in my other videos as well, the sound kept cutting out. There's something up with fraps. So I'm actually recording this after on my Apple Mac. Flipping it, Willy Wonka. I think we might have to, next time we'll attach it to the other tractor because that thing is a little bit slow. Look at that. Doing a good job though. You look like a proper farmer from the 60s now. Looking good, looking good. Love the dungarees. All farmers have to wear dungarees. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been day 1 of my playthrough. There's going to be a lot more videos coming soon. Give us a subscribe and a like if you enjoyed it. I don't monetize my videos and I don't get many views, so any help's very appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you on day 2 down on the farm. Yeah, bagum!